Another area with which you are certainly more familiar than most other people is this ongoing debate about cryptos. It should not be currency. Should it be an asset? If so, who should regulate a crypto asset? Where should it be SEBI that regulates the crypto asset? A lot of conversation. I understand legislation is around the corner. Clearly, I think one of the good things, according to me, is to say that we will ban cryptos is not the solution. Banning never ever helped anybody. But we ought to find a way in which it becomes a legitimate and a bona fide player within the system. Clearly cannot be as a currency, cannot be, if you look at the four functions of currency, it cannot be a medium of exchange or even, a standard of measurement. Maybe it can be a store as an asset, nothing more than that. Where do you see that heading?
Well, I think this is one area or one of the examples where you can say, again, going back to the conversation that you started with, whether the regulators are too slow. I think that was the question that we started our conversation with.
Yes.
I strongly feel that crypto has been allowed sort of an approach, a laissez-faire kind of thing, where probably we have reached a stage, whether it's good or bad, we will say that I think too many people are in it. You just cannot disrupt something which you allowed to grow beyond a point, and then you say you don't like it. Now you have to take a call whether you like it or not upfront, particularly in a technology-led innovation, because the scaling up happens very, very quickly as far as this part is concerned. Now, the worry that the regulators have about crypto is that the Bitcoin, for example, which started the whole thing, it appeared following the global financial crisis. So basically, it was used initially for people to put the money as a safe haven, money laundering, criminals, kind of, etc. But today, if you raise the same specter and start conversation in an audience where the crypto investors are there, and I faced this in one of the global fintech festival when this was saying, they say that you say that the Bitcoin is responsible for money laundering. He said we have statistics to prove that the biggest money laundering happens through US dollars. It is not Bitcoin. So that's a counter that these people have as far as this concerned. Now, what is the worry of the regulator? The worry of the regulator is that any financial asset must have a value from certain underlying flows. Now, there is nothing. This is an item. Nobody has seen it, heard it. It is supposed to be a code. And for the code, people are quoting a price, and that price is getting traded here and there. But the people see a value in this. People are prepared to speculate on that or buy and sell that. Now, what would be the role of the regulator? I would think that today, if you take the realistic situation, it is too late to ban. It is not going to work, and it's too interconnected. If you ban, the money can go out through the LRS route and other kind of foreign exchange routes, and they could get done elsewhere. It could go into it's like even during the worst current account times, and you were a part of the government at that point of time, I think we did debate as to whether we had to bring in the gold control, and the decision was no, because it pushes more gold into smuggling and things like that. So that's the exact situation that we have got into. So it has to be regulated. Now the question is regulation easy? It is not going to be easy. Now, how granular are you going to get as far as this regulation is concerned? So if you look at most of the other countries, what the regulators have done is that many of them have sort of firewalled the financial system to make sure that their credit is not used for speculating in this. It is your money that you are using, and you are being warned adequately about what are the downsides of this on a very regular basis. Now, that's the approach that most of the regulators have done. And today, in terms of numbers and the volume when compared to the overall. People even argue that some of these volumes are overpitched, but even taking these volumes, I think is a minuscule of the total system that we are looking at. So I think from a destabilization angle, we need not worry too much. But I think this is something, I mean, you started off with the 4 functions, that famous Crowther definition: money is a matter of functions.
Functions 4.
A measure, a standard, a store.
Standard and a
It
store.
should be
Yes.
nothing. But
Yes.
still, people want it. People want to trade in it. And so be it. So you will have to alert people to the risk and allow this to happen in a more regulated way. There is huge amount of tax possibility, tax revenues to the system, which is there. So this needs to be looked at with an open mind. This is where I sometimes wonder, and probably a controversial thought, whether this should be done by one of the existing regulators, or you need a new regulator for this to think differently, because it's a new asset altogether.
No, that's an interesting thought. Bring in a few people, younger people. In fact, the boardrooms of the future, I am told, will have people wearing T-shirts and shorts coming into the boardrooms, because that would be contemporary knowledge factored into regulation. I wish we could have continued this conversation, but it's been fascinating hearing you on this. I know you are a tennis player, and I think in the course of the last few minutes, you have managed several good overheads, several cross courts, several drop shots, several lobs, and several down the line winners. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Padmanabhan.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.